Hi Floss friends! My name is Amanda and this is my Flosstube channel, Sycamore Stitches, which is all about cross stitching. Today is an awesome day because it's my birthday. Yay! So I wanted to start by showing you a couple stitching related things that I got for my birthday, and also one is a late Christmas present. Um, and my plans for my birthday start today. But the main meat of this video is going to be a finish parade of all of my finishes from 2022. And I definitely did not plan this, but there are 22 of them. So that seems perfect. 22 finishes in 2022. I honestly didn't even know until after I think the year was up, but I counted them all and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I have all of those in my basket here. I'm trying another location for filming. I'm in my dining room today. Hopefully it will be okay. I do have a mantle clock that you may be hearing. Hopefully it's not too distracting when it goes off. Okay, so let me show you first a couple things that I just got and I wanted to share. Firstly, my dad for Christmas gave me some money and I used the majority of it to buy a Lowry stand, which I'm not going to show you because it's in the other room. But I've spent a couple days stitching with it for my large projects, and I really like it. I'm still getting used to it, figuring out where it is, like what position works well for me. Um, but a couple of my larger projects I hadn't touched in months because they were awkward to hold and stitch on, and I really think for my big projects it's going to be really good. I haven't tried it with anything smaller than like this. um, so I'll have to let you know about those ones. There was also a little bit extra from that Christmas present, so I also got two other things. One is another Mirabilia. This is the third Mirabilia chart I have bought, and I haven't started one of them. So I should probably, well, so I'll get to that. But anyhow, this one is Cathedral Woods Goddess. And I think she looks pretty cool. I did not get like any of the beads or anything for this. It has beads and treasures and kynic and water lilies, so I have not even thought about starting that yet. And then the other thing I got was a little Mill Hill kit, which you're not going to be able to see unless I take it out, it's called Red Cap Mushrooms. I love mushrooms, so I'm excited about this one. It's just a little one. You'll see I've done 3 of these. They're in my pile, one for each of my kids. So this one will be for me. Eek. Okay. I have actually gotten into this one. I haven't started it yet. I'm considering it as a second birthday start if I feel like it later today. But I did go through and like sort all my thread out for that little guy. Okay. Next, well, I only have one here, but I got a couple of these Nerge frames. Actually, I have another one. It was like a 3-pack, and that's the medium one. Like here's the small one, medium one, and then the start that I'm gonna do as my birthday start. I haven't started yet, but I like got out the fabric and stuff. It's on the big one of these, so I'll show you that in a minute. I guess I will show it to you now because it's in my other gift that I got for my birthday, which is just came from like Amazon, but it's like a nice project bag, and it has a round pocket on the front for hoops, which I actually have 2 small projects, like both the floss and the projects in that front one. And then I was going to use the inside for my new start. So inside we have apparently all my magnets fell off of my little magnet thing there. There's like a big pocket, some smaller pockets, and then the other side has some clear zipper pockets. So this is what I am hoping to start today for my birthday start, which is the first memorabilia that I got, Botanical Garden. Um, and I'm going to double check this because I just gathered up all my floss before I start, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a good fabric. This is one of my Fortnite fabric of the months, and it is called something, Groove Thing, I think. But it's a nice purple, and I think it will go well. This isn't like completely nicely kitted up. My floss is all like in a Ziploc bag, but I have all the pieces. I even made some copies of the chart for working copies today. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and I can finish that kitting up later. So that is what I'm planning to start today. My Mirabilia, that's a hard word to say, and possibly the little Mill Hill kit as well, if I feel like it. We'll see. I also might take my kids out to see a movie. So I don't know how much time I have for stitching once they get home from school. Anyhow, I'm excited to go see the new Tom Hanks movie that's just out because it was filmed right down the street from me, and it's basically about a neighborhood. So like there's so much of my little town, it looks like, even just from the trailer. So I'm excited to go see that one. Okay, so let's get started on my finishes of 2022. I actually have almost all of them. I think there's only 2 that I gave away that I'll have to put pictures in, and one is actually a secret and I actually can't show you, but we'll get there when we get there. So the first one I finished on January 2nd of 2022, and it is this one, Bird in Garden, and I really didn't have fun stitching this one, if you remember, because of the way the fabric was, but once it was done and in this cute frame, I really like it. And this normally hangs on the side by my desk. The pattern came from an Etsy shop called Aksebi, and yeah. Okay, I had to pause. Somebody was calling me, my aunt, to wish me a happy birthday. So I had to take that. But anyhow, back to this. I showed you the first one. I always keep track of how much time I spend on a project. I'm not sure if that's interesting to you guys, but this one was 51 hours to do that one. That's just stitching time. Obviously, there's like framing time and like kitting time and all of that. So number 2 is actually one that I gave away for a gift. So I will find a picture and put it up here. And I gave this to my sister-in-law for her birthday. I finished it in February 14th, and it's called Clover Splash, I think. That's what I called it. Sometimes I don't know if I'm using the names I gave them or not. But yeah, I still have plans to do this one again with a green fabric, and I'm changing the colors like to invert it for my daughter who is named Clover, but I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that's a plan. I've never actually done a project more than once, so we'll see if I ever get around to it. Next is called Father Frost. It was a little freebie on the Owl Forest website. I'm pretty sure it's still there. They have like a whole series of like fairy tale kind of things. I didn't dig most of them, but I like this one. It's on, I don't know if you can tell, unfortunately with the glass it's got a bit of a glare, but it's on a opalescent glittery fabric, and this was just a fun little one to do. It also has some specialty stitches up here and the little stars and these things on the side, which I liked. And this one just took 9.5 hours, so it was a nice little one, a little winter palette cleanser. Next we have, I call this one, so this is from Emma Congdon's book Cross Stitch for the Earth, probably. Yeah, that would be the one. And she doesn't name any of the patterns in her books, but I called this pine, Two Pines, because it says between two pines is a doorway to a new world. Um, and I have more of this dark green fabric, and that is what I want to do the other clover on with, like, basically some of these colors. So it will look a little similar to this as far as color schemes. But anyhow, I finished this one on March 4th, and it was 45 hours. I would say my typical pieces are around 40 hours, although I have started doing more small pieces this year. Otherwise, how would I have had 22 finishes? Haha. And they are nice for when you're not in the house and you can take them more easily. Next is Ski Lift from Awesome Pattern Studio. This was a great travel piece because it's a lot of block colors and you can just outline it and then stitch on it, like while you're traveling, and not have to use chart. I finished this on March 20th and it took me 65 hours. It was much bigger than I originally thought. And there was way too much white on white. Boo. Next time, if I did something like this, I'd probably have to maybe not do it on white. Close to white, but not white. This is just on a, I guess I haven't been saying, but this is on a 14 count white Aida. I'll try to remember to say that from now on. I'm not going to go back though. If you have any questions, just ask. Okay. Oh, the next one is also a gift. It's from Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth as well, and I gave it to my mother-in-law for her birthday, and I called it Be Kind. It says, "Be kind to all that live." And I finished that April 11th on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco, and it took 42 hours. Next we have Dilly Dahlia from Ink Circles. And this is on a 16 count Aida called Sea Lily, Witcholt. Is it Witcholt? Yeah, I don't know exactly how to say that word, but that word. This took, I finished it on April 25th and it took 24 hours. And this was the first time I used, and only time that I've used, Weeks Dye Works was the thread that was called for. I wasn't a huge fan, actually. It felt like it felt not as smooth as DMC. And I did change the two green colors because I used a green fabric and the called for was more like a tan. So I did have to adjust those colors. But I do like the modeling of the fancy floss. That is definitely fun. Okay, next are these tiny ones from a Mill Hill kit. This one was called Lucky Day, and I have almost all of my finishes from 2022 finished, or fully finished. Of course they're finished. These ones I cut them out, but I still need to put a magnet on the back. That's the plan. I have 3 of them, and they're for my 3 kids. This was my first time doing any sort of beading, and I wanted to try it out on these before I did start a Mirabilia. So now I've done 3 of these little things, and I feel ready to start that Mirabilia. These are also super fun because they don't take much time. This was like 7.5 hours, and I finished it on May 13th. And then next one is called Snowy Owlet. And this was 8.5 hours, and I finished on June 7th. And this is for my oldest daughter. Also still waiting on a magnet. I have one more in there, but I have to skip that and go to Cordillera from Pigeon Coop Designs on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. I love this. It was so fun to stitch. I really like the little geometric patterns of the Pigeon Coop Designs. They make it really fun. This is a series of 3, and I finished 2 of them. I haven't started the 3rd, but I do need to do that. Its colors aren't as fun, so that's why I haven't started it yet. Anyhow, this I finished on June 16th and it took me 14 and a half hours. Okay. Next is Emerald City by Satsuma Street. I actually don't know if that's the name of it because I think it is. I bought it, I didn't buy it off like their site. I got it from the Contemporary Cross Stitch magazine. So, but it's also available, I think, just like on their site or on their Etsy. This is on a 14 count Aida in Willow by Picture This Plus. I did have to change some of the colors because I changed the background color. Some of the greens, and I think I made this purple. Basically, there were some colors that just blended in, so I had to change those. This took 39 hours and I finished on June 25th. Okay. This is also Satsuma Street. They have a Flower Friends series, which is 3 little patterns. I finished one of them. I'm working on the second, and I have the third kitted up. So this one is called Birdie, is her name. I'm working right now on Myrtle, which is the turtle. It's on a 16 count Aida in the colorway called Sunshower. I don't know what brand it is. I finished it on July 7th and it took 12 hours. Oh, and this is Cosmo Floss. I bought the floss pack through Satsuma Street and I like it. It feels really, they're like silky. It's nice. I don't know where I would normally get Cosmo Floss, but I do like it. And I'm still waiting to actually finish this back because I made 3 of these hoops in different colurs. I'm not completely sure which of the 3 is going in which of the 3 colors. So I'm just waiting for this final thing until I actually finish all of them and decide for sure. Next is Hummingbird, which is also from Pigeon Coop Designs. It was a little free kit in the summer when you ordered a certain amount from their website, and it was super fun to stitch up and super quick. It was like 6 hours of stitching. I finished this on September 1st. Okay. Oh, I skipped one. Before Little Birdie, I was supposed to show this one, which was upside down, which is also an Emma Congdon, or Stitchrovia is where I got it on Etsy. It wasn't from one of her books. And this is called Popsicles. I had started this actually in like last summer, 2021 summer, and then put it away when it was not quite done because I wasn't feeling summer anymore, and took it back out and finished it up. And I finished it on June 26th and it took 68 hours. It was kind of a big one. It's on 14 count antique white Aida, just from a tube at Joann's. These would be really good to like do smaller, like if you didn't want to do the whole thing, you could easily do one or a couple of those from the pattern. I know Dee from like Dee's 20 does that. Maybe it wasn't from that pattern, but they make like little ones for kids. Anyhow. Okay. And next, this is the one that I spent the most time on of all of my finishes. This is from Notorious Needle. It is the Pro Choice Stitch Along, and it's on a 18 count white Aida. I finished this September 14th, and I had 73 hours into this one. A lot. I mean, it's pretty big. It's mounted on a piece of canvas, and I really like it. It's the Called for Colors. She gave several options for the last phrase. So that's the like part that you could pick. So come in and see some detail. I really like this one. I gotta get this up on my wall. Okay. Next is another pigeon coop called Great Plains. It goes with the Cordillera. And like I said, there's a forest one I haven't started yet. Also in a 28 count, tea-dyed Monaco. It's not actually, like, I didn't tea-dye it. It's just called tea-dyed. So, I finished this September 19th, and it took 15 hours. This one also still needs laced on the back. No excuse, I just finished it. This one's for my husband. I made it for him, but then I took it back because I hadn't fully finished it. I just gave it to him, and I was like, a piece of fabric, and I was like, I better finish this for you. Anyhow, this is from Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth, I believe. I get confused between Cross Stitch for the Earth and Cross Stitch for the Soul, but I think this is also from Cross Stitch for the Earth. The best view comes after the hardest climb. It is on a 14 count Aida in the colorway Helix by Picture This Plus. It's a little hard to tell. It's supposed to look kind of like blue, but like kind of cloudy. Modeling is very subtle though. I finished this on October 10th, and it took me 18 hours. Okay. Now we have the third of my little Mill Hill kits, which is called Autumn Gold. And it was the biggest of these three little ones. And I finished this October 20th, and it took 14 hours. So all of these still need their little magnets on them. That's why they're in that little bag to be done. Okay, number 19, Rainbow Bubble Tea. I don't have written down the Etsy shop, but the artist's name on the pattern is Sarah Bowman. It's also on a 28 count Lugana in the colorway Hydrangea from Fiber on a Whim. I got this piece of fabric in my like spring garden stitchy box. And this is for my daughter who loves boba. They asked for it to be stitched with 3 threads instead of 2, so I did that, but it looks fine, but it's just a little different. I did change some of the colors, the straw, because it was a purple straw and it was going to blend in with this, so I changed it to a green straw. And then like the part here is like a blend, so that it's like pink blended with the green since it's underneath the cap there. I finished this October 31st, and it took 13 hours. The next project, number 20, is a secret project, so I cannot show you, but I will tell you about it when I can, which I think will be in February. So the story behind it is that I go to little get-togethers with a local stitching group, and somebody from the group in like October, I think, decided to start a game, and then we had until February to finish it. If you wanted to participate, there were all these little DMC flosses wrapped up in wrapping paper in a basket. You had to pick 5 of them and not open them there and not show anybody. You had to take your 5 colors home and use all 5 of them and no other colors to make a pattern of your choice. It had to be like 4 by 4 inch, I think. And in February, we're all going to take our projects and vote on them, and there's prizes and stuff like that. So I really like how mine turned out, and I'll show it to you when I can. I will have to make another mini video with just that project, and once we're done with our little contest, I will put it on one of my floss tubes. Okay, we're almost at the end. Number 21. Another pigeon coop design called Autumn Owl. This was also a free kit that came when you bought. They keep getting me with those. I keep buying more stuff so I can get the little free kits. I finished this December 1st and it took about 10 hours. I don't usually like smalls, but these ones I do. I have another kit that I got that's a cardinal that I have not started yet, but I am tempted because it's very wintry. And I already have the hummingbird and the owl, and so I think I need to do the cardinal now. Okay, and the last finish of 2022 is not fully finished yet, but it is for my daughter. And I don't know what it's called. I call it dysentery. And I got it from an Etsy shop called Occult Grandma. And it's on 16 count black Ada. And it says, "Get in, loser, we're going to die of dysentery." And my daughter, who just turned 13, thinks this is hilarious. And I'm going to stitch it onto a black tote bag, which I have not bought yet, so I need to go buy the tote bag. And I'm doing a similar sized piece for her best friend, who is also has a birthday this week and is also on black Ada. So I need to go buy 2 black tote bags. I need to finish that other project, and then I'm gonna make them both tote bags. So yeah, I need to put that on my to-do list. I've never put something on a tote bag, so I don't know how it's gonna work. I bought another skein of this 703, this green. So my idea is just to get a black tote bag and iron this nice down and flat like this, and then just sew it on with the visible green all around. So I'll let you know how that works once I do it. I've never seen on Flosstube someone else putting something on a tote bag. Because I looked, because I'm like, I wonder if there's like some sort of tutorial. I'm like, I'll figure it out, hopefully. So that's it. 22 finishes in 2022. And I don't really have much else to say. I have no particular goals about how many finishes I'm going to have in 2023. I'm not going to say there's going to be 23 of them. Probably there won't be, but you never know. I really do want to get more progress done on some of my bigger projects, and I have 3 very big projects going right now that might take up a decent amount of time if I let them. So that's that. I'm going to go start my birthday start before I have to pick up my kids from school, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.